Hey VC, it's Mazzy, and this is the very first whack-a-mole on location. See, in this, look at that. It's dark down here. We're down in, we're gonna get, that's like so fucking dark. Okay, Joe Zawinul will be on in the background. We're gonna burn him on that lamp. Okay, I'm with my buddy Dave.
Hello.
Dave was number like, he started working for Starbucks in 1937, before coffee beans were invented, and worked for them for, how many years did you work for them?
Before the hippies, like about 30 years.
30 years at Starbucks, but not in a store, but it's a cool job. But anyway, he's a record freak like me, and look at this. This is amazing. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, let's turn this down a little bit.
Okay.
Before we get into our whack-a-mole, we're gonna just pull records and talk about them as we. Tell me about your system here.
Well,
Start with your turntable and then go from there.
The turntable is basically a Lin LP12, and it's a modified Lin LP12, so it's had a lot of changes done to it. It's got a name arrow tone arm on it with it's got the Scala cartridge, which is super fancy, and then the power supply, the Armageddon. It's right down there on top to the left.
Isn't that like the end?
Yeah, it's
that's when everything ends.
Yeah, it's like really just, it all is like, it's done, period. Can't go any further, can't take it anymore unless you really wanted to, of course. I'm sure there's a way, people figure it out. But we also have everything else interconnected with this as well. Preamp, 252.
And what is it, name? This is name?
Yeah, it's all name audio. So
Name, N-A-I-M, name audio.
out of the UK, only the Britain's finest, top of the line. The only thing in this whole setup that isn't British are the speakers, and they're Devore Fidelity, and they are from out of Brooklyn, and sounds a little bit weird, but they pair up rather nicely with the rest of the gear, and it's like some people might do something active, but this is just more of a no subwoofer, 2-channel, straight basic with a ton of like power supplies, all like, so everything is really like completely.
Now, wait, what's that noise I hear? Is that the record or is that a heater?
That's a heater.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
I know, which isn't a good thing, by the way.
Okay, I thought it was like an ambient heater. Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit of white noise in the background. So.
And we got records here.
And some CDs. And
we got records here. I see a Beatles CD.
Mono box set.
Mono box set. Okay,
Indeed.
upside down.
We have a 33 to 45 RPM Wattgate power converter for the fact that we don't have to take the table, the whole platter off and change the belt. You plug it in and it modulates for 45 RPM if you want to play 45 RPMs, which I don't have very many.
You sound like a fucking scientist.
Well, I'm just a jerk.
No. I love it. I love this. Okay, look at these great records. Now, okay.
The room's a mess, so I'm trying to get my room and my vinyl all together. I got tons of stuff everywhere. Been trying to sell some stuff off. There's duplicates, even triplicates of maybe a few, but none of it's like, maybe that's alphabetized up there. We got that going, but the rest of it is just an open book.
Wait a
essentially.
second. You mean so these aren't in order?
They are not in order, and they do not have plastic over every one of them either. Can you believe that? Shocking.
Not
I know.
alphabetical order?
No. I know. You would think. Wow.
See, I'm a Virgo.
What the hell?
Oh God, I look like a fucking clown. You're like a clown?
I am like, do you amuse me? Like,
Do you amuse me like a clown?
This is amusement right here
Okay.
in front of you. The whole thing.
So I was trying to explain to my buddy. It's funny. I've known you about 5 years now. Four or 5 years.
Five solid
in
years.
Seattle, and he has no idea I do this shit on YouTube. And we met for dinner tonight at this Mexican restaurant I like in Georgetown, part of Seattle, and we sat there having a couple of drinks and some Mexican food, and right next to us sat this couple, and you could tell they were on some kind of like
predetermined date.
Date,
It
like
was a
one of those
date.
internet date things, and we were sniffing them out as they were sniffing each. That sounds really bad, but you could tell
They were sniffing each other.
they were totally. You could totally tell when a couple meets in a restaurant
First date
for an internet date, and first time they meet, and they kind of give that awkward hug.
Which
So-
is cute. I
It
mean,
is no.
it's
Hey,
endearing.
I'm not knocking it, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of when you're sitting there and you're not trying to eavesdrop, but you can't help it because well, you had to be there, but right?
Yeah, no, it was live in the moment. They were there. The ambiance always good down there, but you wouldn't know because of course you weren't there, but we were there.
We were there.
And
You
it'd
weren't
been a
there.
while.
You weren't there. You have no idea. You have no fucking idea
You could
what this
see
was
it,
like.
But if you saw it, you would know.
Okay.
Just like you wouldn't know this room if you saw it because it would be like all over the place. But here it is.
Okay.
We have a new chaise lounge with old artwork on it and other stuff like.
But it looks
all
like
that
your
clarity.
chaise lounge is like a storage bench right now.
Yeah, for now it is because it just arrived and I have to find a placement for it. And I got to put another couch in here at some point, and that's coming soon, probably within the next couple of weeks. But until then, I'm going to make the space as I see it and try to use and treat my vinyl as best I can, even though it doesn't have any kind of like I said, they don't have plastic covers all over them. They should all have plastic covers over them. Everybody knows that,
No,
right?
you don't
even-
need that. You know, I was telling him a little about if he gets hooked into the VC, the VC is what we call the vinyl community. There's people that do the plastic. There's people that don't do the plastic. There's people that do the fucking seal plastic with the record behind it, not even in the fucking sleeves.
So organized.
They're so I'm organized, but I'm not like. Well, we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I want to be organized, but at the same time, it's a slow process, and others are involved. So I have to like rely upon them at a certain point, or myself mostly.
well, let's go into the
Clear
sort of
on.
whack-a-mole thing, and let's just pull a couple records random and talk about them. Just I don't care. I
Okay,
mean,
here's one. Here's one that's really weird, like off. Like here you go. Like here's one that really many don't know about. Jeff Beck's There and Back came out in 1980. It's produced by Ken Scott. He's the guy that like produced like
David
Supertramp
Bowie.
and, maybe he did Bowie too. Yeah,
he did Ziggy Stardust. Ken Scott,
Ken Scott. Yeah.
Ziggy Stardust. He worked the Beatles on the White Album as an engineer.
Well,
I know this shit.
the
That's a Japanese
musicologist
edition.
knows. Yeah, this is a Japanese pressing of it. When I heard it back when I was, I'm like around 50 now. So when I heard it as a kid from a friend of mine, I really was like into it because it reminded me of like TV music, but it's like basically like it's like space jazz. If anybody knows
So
Jeff
fusion,
Beck,
a little
yeah,
fusion-y?
it's super fusion-y.
Yeah.
Simon Phillips is on the drums, great like player, but it's a weird album. Star Cycle, the other tracks on it, stuff that they would play on like TV news as background music, but nonetheless, a strange, weird album that I really like a lot, that I have a weird thing for, that goes back to when I was like, 13, 14 years old, which
Cool.
is really bizarre, but
Cool.
it came out in like 1980.
Cool.
So that's like one of them right there. Then of course there's another, there's Wired right there. Most people would know Wired if they know Jeff Beck. That's like 76. Awesome.
That's the one he did right after Blow by Blow.
That's right after Blow by
Yeah.
Blow. And
Did
again,
George Martin produce that one too, or no?
He did.
Okay.
He did.
I know he produced Blow by Blow, but I didn't know if he'd produced Wired.
Yeah, just those two. And
Yeah.
and then he also did America too. But that's a
The
whole
group
nother
America,
story.
yeah.
Yeah.
And he did. Well, there's a bunch of other groups. Yeah. Exactly.
All nerdy
Aside
stuff.
from the Fab stuff.
Yeah.
Let me just see if I can.
Yeah.
I want you to do mostly because it's your collection, but I want to just grab something randomly. I'm going to do a Mazia. This is not my collection, so I'm going to pick one. This record. Oh, Howlin' Wolf.
Howlin' Wolf.
I'm at the blue. My baby walked off with the smell of the bluebird. I know Howlin' Wolf blues stuff. So, okay.
And
enough of that. What can I say?
And yeah, another chess
Are these in any
reissue of
order?
many. No, they're not in any order.
Okay.
I like Howlin' Wolf hates his electric guitar. Again, it's like
Yeah.
a little bit hipster, whatever. I'm not trying to be a hipster, but I know like that. And then all this stuff is like, I mean, you have like stuff is like ridiculous. I don't know if I've ever really listened to this Bert Kempfert. Yeah, maybe
Another
maybe
Beatle
do.
connection. I always talk about Beatle connections. Bert Kempfert did orchestration with some Beatles stuff in Germany because he's German, and during with Tony Sheridan, there's all this Beatles stuff. Anyway, it's a big Beatle connection.
Yeah, I mean, again, something you will probably never like listen to. Never. I mean, I don't even remember where it came from. I think it could have been some kind of thrift store find, which makes sense, right?
Some girlfriend left it here, some German Frau
Frau Brunhilde.
Brunhilde.
She was very, very fine.
Frau
Yes.
Hosen from Geschlafen.
So es ist sehr
Ga-
gut, ja?
Gas ist da.
Ja.
Komm, gib mir dein Hand. Geschlafen. Mit Schlag.
Liebe, mein Herz ist erst die erste für alles, ja? Und dann, weil es wäre so gut, wir alles ist klar und alles gut, ja?
Sib lib dich. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wie
You know
liebe
what? You know
dich.
what the German word for brassiere is? Hosen from Floppen.
Holsten vom Floppen.
Yes.
This is keeps them in the area.
Okay.
We're looking at we're everywhere.
We're already gonna
so-
get thumbs down here on this video.
You might get a thumbs down knowing this one too.
Oh,
Now, that's
we
just
all love
another-
that record.
But I like the
Everyone
Wish You
loves
Were
that
Here.
record.
That's great. Here's another really weird one, like UK, another band like with John Wetton in it. You know, the guy from Asia, the guy
would
from
know.
the guy from King Crimson.
Oh,
Part
okay.
of it, not all of it.
Isn't
That's one
everybody?
of them.
Wasn't everybody in King Crimson at least once?
It seemed to be the case. King Crimson always seemed to be like rotating through all different kinds of like drummers and everything.
So I like
It's
the
kinda
original King Crimson, and then I like the '80s Adrian Blue, Tony Levin King Crimson. I
Yes.
love those records.
Yes, Discipline, Beat, and then there was one
Yeah,
other one
with
You
Jack
did
Kerouac, the
yellow,
red, blue, and yellow. Yep,
Yep.
I got the.
You know.
I know my shit. Yeah. Do you have any? Oh, do you have any Phil Collins records?
Yes.
The audience is always asking Phil Collins records.
Okay, I do, but here's the thing: they're upstairs. I was listening actually to No Jacket Required last week. I also have Face Value and up there as
Okay,
well,
next.
but they're
do you have any-
upstairs.
do you have any Billy Joel records?
I do, but you know what? They're somewhere in there.
Okay, we're not gonna.
I wouldn't.
This is a running joke, so don't, because I hate fucking Billy Joel and
Glass Houses, I think.
Okay.
And I got that one, but I'm really specific on that 45th Street. Is that or 40?
I don't know.
Like in a. Sorry.
No,
Let's-
don't be
yeah.
sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about.
You have to. Yeah, everybody has to be a Billy Joel apologist if they know it, because it's just like I mean, this is where you really want you want a little bit of maybe like a
Well,
Cream
John
President
Denver I can handle. Anybody that crashes in a fucking paper airplane is pretty ballsy.
It's pretty ballsy.
Oh, I love that record. Harry Nilsson.
It's a great album.
We need to hold it up because we're not getting enough light.
Yeah, I
here.
know. It really is like
No,
I said. The lighting
but this is good. It works up here. Harry Nilsson. What a great record. I love. Gotta Get Up. Jump Into the Fire, which was used beautifully in Scorsese's film Goodfellas during the cocaine scene when
Yes.
the air helicopters are flying.
The
Jump in the
paranoia
fire.
scene.
The paranoia scene,
Yeah.
which is it's a synonym of cocaine.
Absolutely. No,
Cocaine and paranoia goes hand in hand.
The fellas, there's a little bit of paranoia for you too, but again, the Crimson first album.
Yeah,
Right here.
we got that.
In the court of the Crimson.
50
King.
years. 50 years this year.
50 years this year, 69. That is correct. Really amazing, awesome. Of course, and a little Zevon.
I just
for
showed
you,
that
too.
on a video. Okay.
Just complimentary copy. Mazzy here is like a
Did I give you
Zevon
that one?
master.
No, I didn't give you that one. Did
I think I bought it
No.
like you.
Okay.
Somewhere. Yeah.
I just something. Oh, I know. Okay, never mind.
I know, weird, right? And then some Calm Trues. Like
I have
this
no
little-
idea what this
Little
is.
electronica for you. Like it was
Electronica.
like
Let's get some light
sure
here.
The viewers know this guy somehow.
I have no
some
idea
way.
what this is.
It's just electronic, like new kind of remixed '80s stuff that's done in a weird way. Oh yeah, there's like some like
Oh, that is a great record.
yeah, and that's another one again. Like it's like from the XTC, from the bowels of the collection, coming out randomly all over the place.
We need to have you grab a few and come up here because we're getting low on light down there.
Here's another favorite of mine that's a weird like bootleg. This is Van Halen from Pasadena Civic in 1977. It's like all the stuff from their first and second album before it was done. A weird like soundboard that they pressed. Really weird but kind of fun, kind of cool. I don't know if you're a Van Halen.
I'm not, but a lot of the people in the audience. No,
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that on the VC that love Van Halen. I have no Van Halen records.
That's really okay.
I'm deprived. I'm a deprived child. I have no Eddie Van Halen records. But I did love Valerie Bertinelli. That's the closest I get to Van Halen.
She was the darling back then, of course. you
One
know.
day at a time.
One day soap operas. That's right. Like probably how they met. They're kind of their own soap opera in their own like weird way, you know. And then you like, but this is I think like one of like this is where it gets like kind of good is the Miles collection, the Mosaic pressings.
Is that
really
vinyl?
Yeah, all vinyl in the box set.
That's really cool. Now that's a
Hard to find.
that's a hard to find. That's my
Sounds great.
my buddy Brooks, jazz shit buddy brother Brooks would love that.
Yeah,
He
it's-
probably has a CD version.
It's yeah. I mean the CDs sound fine too as well. It's like I don't know. It's like a weird thing. It's you know they've all released it on Columbia, but there's outtakes and everything else in there, and that's all good. It's I don't know. I mean you got like you know like I said you keep running the gambit. Here's like the Dylan that somebody gave me like the was it biography I think it's like the
Biograph was the first outtake
Biograph.
that became sort of the template for what became the bootleg series.
okay.
This is the first one. It came out during the CD era, and the vinyl was very limited at the time.
Yeah, I don't because for me, I cede to you on the Dylan stuff. This was like
Yeah.
again like a box set. I've got his albums in a box as well that I have, but that was something that was just sort of like sent my way. Here's a weird like this is Dario Argento. All the spooky stuff in a box set that I got. It's got some smudgies on it. It did a weird white plastic thing with the I don't know, but it's got you know if you're into Argento, that's the
Argento,
sure.
isn't that a cheese?
Could be a cheese.
Or is it
Asiago.
Sargento?
The Asiago Argento. Like,
I have no idea what you're
collection.
talking about. I've never heard of Argento in my entire life. Okay, the only
Well-
problem I have. Oh, see, you're one of those people. They have sealed records.
Yeah, this one is sealed, and this is weird. Okay, but I have a Japanese pressing of this too, and it's somewhere behind me.
Except because I'm not a big fan of four men with beards. I always think they're kind of wonky. But
Yeah, the pressings aren't that good, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this.
I think I'm going
might-
to bring it back to Easy Street and trade it in for some like choice cuts.
Yeah,
You
just-
can do whatever you know.
Yeah, just send it through the cycle because they're always, you know how it is. You're trading stuff in. You got it. You got multiple copies. You maybe one get around to it at a certain point, or you don't because you got a problem. Which you clearly have.
We both got problems.
Oh, we got problems. Like we got serious problems. We know that we've got like it's like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why are you doing? Like, why would you have that? Will you ever listen to it? How long have you had it for? It's like everybody's like, there's a like a little Ornette Coleman from like,
Ooh.
that's like, standard issue. Nothing but great album nonetheless. Have
Great
I listened
record.
to it? It's been a while.
Good. Yeah.
The Art of the Improvisers. Awesome.
Are you into a lot of jazz, like free jazz stuff at all, or not? Like Sun Ra or
I like Sun Ra. I like Archie Shepp. I like Ornette Coleman, of course. There's a bunch of like
Eric Dolphy?
Eric Dolphy. I like Dolphy, and I also I'm trying to think of like Cecil Taylor, like some of that on the Blue Note stuff. But again, like I'm talking like it's like I'm listening to it all the time. It's like I'm really like not listening to that as much as I would like other stuff.
Okay, let me pull another whack-a-mole myself. Oh, sorry, my hand there.
Oh
'Cause
no, please do. Please
just
do.
a random. See if I can just pull something and talk about it.
Put the toll out because
Okay,
There you
I
go.
pulled a record. Oh,
Yeah,
I just stepped on a record.
no, it's okay.
Sorry.
It just
I pulled a record. Oh, Jonathan Richman. I love Jonathan Richman. Modern Lovers. But this is I don't even know. Oh, Rounder.
I don't. Yeah, that's like
Oh man.
one of those ones that's been in there for a long time. And
I want
don't
to
know
hear
where it
this.
came
I want to
from.
hear this sometime because I love Jonathan Richman. So someday, but I don't know this record on Rounder Records. So this is about 80 something.
And I don't know it either. That's the funny thing. It's like I didn't know. Again, I know. This sounds weird.
1989. No, it doesn't sound weird. I mean, I get it.
Do I remember?
Jonathan Richman. Look at this mood lighting. It's so sexy.
In the basement. It's mood
Yeah, we're
basement
in the,
lighting.
we're in a. So if I put these back anywhere, it doesn't really matter.
Doesn't matter. No,
God,
it does not matter.
I'd freak out if someone put records in my out of order here.
Oh yeah,
This is what
no,
else?
please do. There's the
I don't even know what I'm
gambit of
pulling
a
here.
number of things. This is another Denver, but this is a Korean copy of like I think his greatest hits,
Let's get in the light here.
which is like completely ridiculous. Like we can like there he is. He's in the lamp.
You can put
John-
behind the light. We get some.
We get-
Oh,
we-
that's
there we
that's
go.
good. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Perfect. Again, we're doing this, impromptu, so we're trying to make sure. Boom, got that in the back. I don't know. I've had this one. This is weird. It's like a Korean pressing that I've had for I don't know how long and where the hell it came from. Multiple pressings of like Disraeli gears, stereo, mono, all different like French issue, domestic issue, Japanese pressing. There's one up there. Don't know. There's a bunch of them. It's still unopened. Abbey Road. I just got this. The Eno, and I'm gonna listen to this at some point. Great album from '77. Awesome. And then it just I don't know. I mean, got a little bit of Gary Wright.
Dreamweaver. I like Dreamweaver. He played with George Harrison, All Things Must Pass. Was a friend of George's also.
He was. That's right. He was a notable dude on the scene, but most people.
I don't know what that is. What is that?
This is a Sleep album. This is the Sciences. If you're into the thick, heavy kind of like rock, Melvins, that kind of stuff. It's like stoner rock. I'm saying that it sounds so stupid. It's like you people already know.
They know, but see, you need to.
Right?
Everybody needs to put things in categories. So I totally get it.
The Cooter, Ry Cooter, always good. Like there's always like.
Maslov always shows Ry Cooter, so they know my audience knows my affinity for Ry Cooter. I love that record.
Cooter's he's like great. And this is the Howlin' Wolf album that I really like. The Howlin' Wolf hates his electric guitar on Chess. Like I think he hated it too, and that's what it says.
I love that record though.
It's a great album.
Yeah, I don't think I have it anymore. I got to get a copy of that. But,
Love that album.
Yeah.
Just love it. And then the other, Morrison Hotel. Got a couple copies of bunch of them on the old Electra, older Melvins. Got like Ozma, Ozma and Bullhead. It was a 2-for-1 on that. But those come separately too. That's a reissue. Boom. And then other stuff like I don't know. I could go on and on. I mean, everything is like. Here we go. Here's another a copy of London Calling. Nice white label from 2000 reissue. Really nice, really good. Sounds great. And then a bunch of Sinatra too, like Strangers in the Night. Always good to have mono and stereo pressings.
Doobie doobie doo, doobie 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 doo. You know what his biggest selling single was? Frank Sinatra's biggest selling single. Was the do you know what it is? I do. I gotta change hands here, sorry.
Ooh, I'm stumped.
Sinatra's top selling single is Something Stupid with his daughter Nancy, saying something stupid like I love you. Was that 1967 or something? 67, I think.
All I can think of is
Something Stupid.
These boots.
Well, that was just her. Let's go just hear anything else and then we'll close out.
Well, this is just there's some Wynton Marsalis, Think of One. That's another weird album from 1987. Really good, a bunch of Stanley Crouch commentary on the back. Awesome first Beastie Boys album, and that's been reissued a bunch of times. License to Ill, got that one too. Bunch of other stuff, some just all over the place. It's this is such a fine album. I think everybody knows that James Brown and the Jungle Groove. Great album. Awesome. And then of course, the regulars Here We Go, reissue of Electric Ladyland that's recent. Those always sound good. They're great. Oh, and then one, of course, is a guilty pleasure that I really like. The Kinks Low Budget, a fine album from '79.
Not one of my favorites, but
yeah, Mazzy
I'm the early Kinks and then the RCA Kinks and
Arthur may be the cutoff for that one. I don't
know. No. I like the RCA stuff, and actually I like the first two Arista. I like Misfits and I like Sleepwalker.
Misfits is fantastic. Yeah. And then there's more box sets. Grateful Dead. I got box sets. I got the Can full album box set in the back right there. Goes on and on. Bowie, Stones, everything. It's
Cinema
just
Verte.
Too much stuff, man. There's too much stuff to listen to. And of course, Phil Collins. Y'all know Phil Collins. You can listen to Phil Collins anytime you want. Everybody can. He's kind of democratic. Is he democratic? I think Phil Collins is pretty. Genesis is I don't know. One to the other.
Okay, what about now? Are you a Genesis fan?
I'm a Genesis fan.
Okay. Do you distinguish between Genesis Peter Gabriel Genesis and Genesis Phil Collins Genesis? Seriously.
No.
Don't answer because you know who's asking you the question. I want your total honesty.
Honestly, in my world, The earlier Genesis with Peter Gabriel, I don't know very well, and he was an established, like they were the real Genesis, kind of like Fleetwood Mac in the early days, like before Lindsey Buckingham, same thing, but similar in that, you know, the change with Collins. That's what I'm familiar with. Abacab, Duke from 1980, Abacab 81, and then all the solo stuff. So I know it's like so ridiculous, right? It's like the hardcore Genesis fans will always go for the Gabriel. I get it because it's the real deal. Peter Gabriel, I think, is more authentic in a lot of ways than Phil Collins. Can we agree on that? Just as
I'm
who
not
he
saying
is,
it.
you can.
I'm not saying a word.
Yeah.
I saw, as I said with this before in one of my videos, I saw Genesis once only, and that was during the Lamb Lies Down on Broadway tour. So that was with Peter Gabriel, Berkeley Community Theater. What year was that? 74?
I was gonna say it has to be early
Ish,
70s.
73, 74, whatever that.
Yeah.
But I saw that and I loved it. And you know, I like to make fun of Phil Collins, especially later. Although I love
does.
his production, his drum sound, which is actually not really his drum sound. It's Hugh Padgham, the producer who produced Paul McCartney
Police.
and you know, who did Police and a lot of stuff. But he produced that great Agatha. What's her name? The solo album. I played it on one of my videos. The solo album by the redhead or the brunette, redhead of ABBA, and Phil Collins produced it. But it's really that. I mean, it's a great drum sound, and I don't have it here, and I did post it on a video earlier. And well, it's not even that, but
That's all, like,
that
mini
heavy
shit.
drum sound I love. But the thing is, if we're talking about drum sounds, what I really like is Gus Dudgeon, who produced the Elton John records, the first Elton John records. I love the drum sound on Someone Saved My Life Tonight on Brown Dirt Cowboy. The drums just kick in that Nigel Olson's drumming, and it's really beautiful. I know we're ranting, and this is a whack-a-mole. It's not a normal whack-a-mole, but it's
the final off
Oh,
real fast
yeah.
and like real quick. Just
but it's a
like-
very special edition whack-a-mole. Can you put on one song to close out, maybe?
Absolutely.
What can we put on that we're not going to get cock-blocked?
Yeah, could we like put on something that that's
Put on Dreamweaver. I think
Dreamweaver?
this is we'll see. And if we do, it's the end, and it'll be silent. This is a schmaltzy AM hit,
right here.
and blast it as long as you can. I don't want to fuck your neighbors here.
Oh no.
You're okay here?
No, they will be completely okay with it. I'm just trying to remember. I believe it is this side is the original like Palm Tree Warner Brothers pressing. Everybody's likes that like disco late 70s like part of it, not the green label, but like, you know, the real thing. Here we go. I'll do it like here we go.
Okay, this is the Mazzy. This is the reaction video to Dreamweaver. You know those reaction videos? This is a reaction video, the end whack-a-mole.
74, late 74.
I've just closed my eyes again.
Tonight.
Climbed aboard the Dreamweaver train.
Yeah.
Trying to take away my worries of today. And leave tomorrow behind.
Spooky Tooth, where are you? You're getting
Oh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night. Oh, Dreamweaver, I believe we can reach the morning light. Fly me high through the starry skies, maybe to an astral plane.
Astral plane. Go
Cross the highways of fantasy. Help me to forget today's pain. Ooh, Dreamweaver, I believe you can get me through the night.
Well, my friends, that was a special edition of Mazzy's Whack-A-Mole.
there. There you go.
And
Weaver.
thanks, Dave, for being a part of this whack-a-mole. My first on-location whack-a-mole.
Outside of the basement.
Outside
other
of,
basement,
of
the primary-
Mazzy's record room.
The studio.
This exactly.
A different kind of studio.
Exactly. So this is a really cool space, a great record collection. So again, everyone, thanks
messy.
for watching. Mazzy loves you, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.